Welcome to the channel. I hope you've all had a great Christmas and New Year with friends and family. Moving into 2023, I'm really looking forward to building a strong and close-knit community with you all. My uploads have slowed down recently due to the nature of my full-time work being very busy over Christmas, but we're back on board now. Let's get into our first video of the new year, 10 little known facts and trivia of Warhammer 40k. Roboute Guilliman isn't the only loyalist Primarch to return to the setting following the closing of the Heresy. The Primarch of the Salamanders, Vulcan, would return to aid a beleaguered Imperium during the War of the Beast in mid-M32, however was thought killed during a clash between himself and the Beast, wherein Vulcan would detonate a Temple Gargant power generator with himself and the Beast trapped inside. Considering Vulcan is a perpetual though, and the Beast did survive this blast, we do not know whether he is reincarnated and just kept to himself, similar to how he did between the closing of the Heresy and the War of the Beast for those millennia. Did you know the clone of Horus Lupercal, which Abaddon kills during the novel The Talon of Horus, wasn't Fabius Bile's only Primarch creation? In the novel Fabius Bile Clone Lord, we discover a perfect clone of Fulgrim survived Abaddon's destruction of Canticle City. While it seems this Fulgrim is good-natured and perhaps even has the potential to be loyal, Fabius Bile decides to trade the clone to the quirky Necron overlord Trazyn the Infinite, as it seems to Fabius that Fulgrim is slowly amassing his own following of Fabius followers, and he is afraid events of the past will simply repeat, as Fulgrim is wont to give into his own pride and ambitions. Not all followers of the Chaos Deity Khorne are axe-wielding uncontrollable maniacs. Some characters in the novels and lore of 40k which exhibit somewhat controlled behaviour are Arianne Zorzi, a World Eater apothecary in the employ of Fabius Bile, who is also a master duelist, and Leorvine Ukris, leader of the 15 Fangs warband and ally to Iskandar Kaon, who would aid in discovering Abaddon's whereabouts to end the Legion Wars and found the Black Legion. The Inquisition has their own Space Marine chapter, known as the Red Hunters. These Astartes are said to be routinely mind-wiped so as to both protect themselves from any corruption they may have witnessed, but also protect the Inquisition's dirty secrets. We see them in action in both the Months of Shame and the Siege of Rax. Did you know, between deaths, Saint Celestine returns to the Warp with no memory of prior events? You can learn more about the Saint and her sororitas in our video of the same title, link in the description below. Are you enjoying this content so far? Consider subbing and hitting that notification bell so I know you're enjoying the content and I'll make more like it. The Primarch Angron, perhaps the angriest being in the galaxy, was seemingly able to absorb the pain of others prior to the surgical implantation of the Butcher's nails. It is curious whether this empathetic ability was a key part of his role within the Primarchs, perhaps healing or keeping those around him level-headed. This ability is an obvious and ironic contrast with his present state of being. Fenrisian Ale, or Mud as it is known in the Fenrisian tongue, is one of only a handful of alcoholic drinks which can intoxicate a Space Marine. This ale is so strong it can easily kill a normal human being. During the Emperor's discovery of Russ, Leman would challenge the Emperor to 3 challenges, the second challenge being a drinking contest. It is told in the sagas that by the time the stranger, who we know to be the Emperor, had drank 6 barrels of ale, Leman Russ had consumed all the ale within the hall. Adeptus Astartes are named after Amar Astarte, the head geneticist tasked by the Emperor of Mankind with bringing the Space Marine project to fruition. Throughout the final years of the Unification Wars, Amar Astarte would become more disenchanted with the project, believing the Space Marine legions could only wrought destruction upon the galaxy without their Primarchs to lead them. During a coup of the Imperial Palace, which she took part in, Amar would destroy all of her data concerning the project, but ultimately failed in her attempt to halt it, as the Emperor of Mankind had made duplicates of all her records. In mid-M32, during the War of the Beast, the Imperial Fist chapter was whittled down to one man, Captain Courland of the Second Company. Not only would this Astartes lead the galaxy-spanning efforts against the Beast and its numberless hordes, he would also seek to cut through the corrupt politicking of the High Lords of Terra, and with support from allies such as the Lord of the Officio Assassinorum, Courland would assume the mantle of Lord Commander of the Imperium, the only Astartes to ever do so. Did you know the Lectitio Divinatus, the book which formed the foundation of the current imperial faith and creed, which celebrates the Emperor of Man as a god deserving of worship, was penned by none other than the Primarch Lorgar Aurelian prior to his fall to chaos? So did you know all this lore? Leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. Have a good one. Take it easy.